All right. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. Poe from Black Girl Everything. We are here with Fallon Davis, who is an entrepreneur, right, Fallon? You have
Yes.
5,000 things going on for yourself. So we're here today to do a quick mini expo to talk about all the amazing things that Fallon's out here doing in the community, in the world, and dealing with fashion as well as academics and pretty much everything else. So Fallon, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Fallon. I'm 30. I'm from New Jersey. I've had a very interesting career into entrepreneurship. Since I was younger, I knew I was destined for big things. Like I could always feel and see that. But it's hard to speak about that. Like you're young, you're like, I feel powerful, but what does that mean when you're young, right? So I've always joined clubs and programs. I've always been class president. And then I played sports and I got really good grades. So I excelled at everything that I put my mind that I was ever going to do. And I didn't realize that in that time where I spent most of my childhood, I was like in a predominantly white area that sheltered my Blackness. And even my queerness, because I came out when I was 12. So I came out when I was 12. I was president of my class. I was getting honors. So I never had a horrible experience, because I was always looked at as someone who does great things, and holds the community on their backs, right? But you don't really know what that means, right? Yeah, I'll do whatever for the people I love. And that's I'm in a small town, so everyone's so close. But it turned out to be that was who I am. I speak for the community, for the voiceless, and I was able to finally understand that, more recently, within the last 5 years, because of my experiences throughout my life that have shaped me to be where I am today as a director of my own program. But I had to start as the underdog, I had to make my mistakes and figure out who I was as a person, get in bad relationships, lose money, make money. You have to be able to do a lot of trial and error to get to really good entrepreneurship, because it's a self-discipline. It's a choice every day when you wake up and say, I'm not going to work for anybody else. I'm going to work for myself. That's an intentional thing that people don't realize. It's not easy to choose that.
No.
I turn down opportunities. That's very hard to do, especially when it's going to go against what I believe in. Yeah. And that, so it took a lot of the building, when I first was in my undergrad, I got my bachelor's from the College of the Business of Fashion in New York. I knew that in order to speak out on what we believed in, we had to be colorful and loud. I knew that marketing was key. You have to know how to speak to people. You have to know how to get people to hear you. We're gonna forever be in the shadows if we don't understand that, how we get people to see us for who we are.
Yeah.
So I created the What is Butch movement, and that lasted for 4 years. We traveled to different states: Oakland, California, LA, Pittsburgh, PA. We did the Andy Warhol Museum. That was an incredible experience. Columbus, Ohio, Philadelphia. We went to the DMV area. We did North Carolina. And then we were able to produce 2 years of Queer Fashion Week in Oakland, California, where we had 1,500 people attending our event, all with queer, predominantly brown designers. So we made a movement, you know. That's where I learned that I was great at marketing campaigns, you know.
Gotcha.
But um, I knew marketing campaigns was going to be the way that Black people were going to be able to get their voice out. You know, like you still are up against the world. So you have to realize and understand how you fit in that mold and then get your way out of it. Like, so you learn the structure and then you get out. So I've done all my schooling on purpose. You know, I have my master's degree. Once the shows and everything kind of were over, like, you know, I mean, how long can you really be on the road producing a show? Like 6 years is a long time. That's crazy. Like,
That is a really long time.
what? Like, the stability thing it freaks with you, you know, like you're literally on the road. Like, so I had 100-piece production at the height of that time.
Wow.
I was bringing to the stage with me 100 pieces of production. Like, that is huge, you know, and we did what we were supposed to do, you know, like we made, you know, movements, and we were the reason why all these other shows have started. And that was excellent, you know, but sometimes you got to be like, okay, that was fun. What's next? You know, because I'm going to grow up, you know, and I have to understand, you know, that there's also been a privilege that I've been able to have, you know, and that's not necessarily a reality. So, you know, I had to expand on this. Okay, marketing campaigns, using creativity, using voice, educating people, but what's bigger than that? And so that's when I decided to go into education as a curriculum developer for arts and science program for Black youth. Like that's key. That's the future. So all the programming, all the creativity, all the fashion show production skills I have make me an amazing director, you know, in this type of platform, because I have the structure to like keep everything organized, but then I also have the creativity to know how to bring in innovation and when to bring in costume sets and like really go all out. And that's what we've done with our virtual summer program for my nonprofit that my partner and I, you know, just came to launch, because we've been in the back end getting it together, because it takes a while to build a brand if you really want it to sustain, you know, like hours of content writing. I mean, it's gruesome. Oh my gosh. You know, like it is.
Yeah, curriculum's not my
gruesome.
thing, and I have no interest in really starting the right curriculum.
It is gruesome. You know, it's a lot of work, you know, but we're very thankful to be in this position, because to write the narrative is going to be the way you change things too. Some people have to write the textbooks. Some people have to go in and change the way the education flows, like structurally. So that is a technical thing that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of building, you know.
So for your summer program, who is it more so geared towards?
So STEAM Urban is geared towards Black students primarily. Black and brown, but Black because Black experiences are the height of our experiences.
Got it.
And we feel that there are so many Black communities that don't have role models like to look up to, and there's so many Black children going uneducated in a holistic way, you know, like where they're building up their mind, their spirit, they're allowing access to nature and to endless possibilities. Like Black children deserve that right, you know, to be able to dream the impossible, because I did, and it works. And I'm here today. Like, I never stopped dreaming, and I've never been like stuck to any company, and I've been making it. Like, so I've just been having to adjust and adapt. And yeah, I probably did it the hardest way, because I didn't want to get a lot of support and then people kind of have that hold on me. You know, I really wanted to establish things on my own. You know, I didn't want anybody to be able to take it from me. So it's a lot of trial and error, you know, but I encourage the opportunity for people to explore things. Like, I think that that's phenomenal. I don't think Black children are told enough that they can see things that their family has never seen, you know, that they can um, try things that they have never thought of trying. Like, it's okay to live outside the box. I mean, I've had really great experiences growing up, you know, and I realized that not everyone did. I was whitewater rafting. I went to sleepaway camps. I was able to um, work as a lifeguard. Like, I had an amazing experience as a childhood, and I realized that that's a privilege, and that a lot of children don't
Definitely.
have access to a beautiful childhood, and that is heartbreaking for me. Like, what? If
Yeah.
I didn't have the childhood I had, I would be devastated, you know? So it's important for me to be able to provide children with an amazing childhood, you know? And so there's so many Black communities that need that support. And so that's our goal, to reach out to every single one. We're right now in Newark, New Jersey.
Okay.
And Newark is the mecca of Black culture. It's, you know, if you can get Newark, like, to see your vision, you know, it really means a lot, because that means you're really doing your due diligence. You're really talking to the right people. Like, we really have to do our homework, and we really have to do things the right way. You know, we can't just be, oh, we're going to do this programming, we're just going to throw it up. No, we did our own in-house filming. We had an actual summer camp going on in our house. And that's how we were able to video the programs. And so they're really heartfelt, and they're like the real experiences of the kids involved. We had two 18-year-olds as the leaders. So they're our radical educators. That's our whole movement around radical educators deserve to be in positions of leadership. Like, you need to be able to have educators that go against what it means to be inside of a box, you know, like, to be able to develop any type of program. That's a power that you have. And if you have always developed programs in this box, and now they're in all these schools, that's powerful. You know how much access that is that people have, your textbooks, all of those things, you know. So it's very important for us to rewrite those narratives. And so we started with the virtual summer program, which is STEAM for Educational Justice, which is what we're fighting for with this program. Yes. And so we're taking that narrative into the fall, and we're doing a whole online series. The first volume will be The Power of Black Scientists, and that will be launching a couple weeks after our virtual summer program is over. But we're continuously developing this program because we also feel like there needs to be Black representation on platforms like YouTube. You know, why can't you need to be able to see, like, Black students, Black children doing things like that are good. You know, they're fishing and doing art and science activities, you know, like, that's powerful. So we're going to keep the YouTube going because we feel like it can eventually be into a show. So we have a mascot too, Artie the Steambot. So it's our hip hop robot, who has a flask and spray can in his hand. So it's really dope. So we're looking to, you know, how do we get him to come to life? And so we're showing what innovation looks like. We're the power of freedom, because as entrepreneurs, we're free in our mind, in our creativity. You know, it's a decision you make, and when you make that decision, you have to be very intentional. You know, you can't be like 1 minute supporting, oh yeah, I'm an entrepreneur, then you're like doubting where your money's coming from, or, you know, like, or you're depressed or whatever. Like, No, that's not what it really means to be an entrepreneur. It means you're free in your mind. Like, we're very intentional about eating well. I just got a trainer because I needed to start working back out. You know,
Don't we
like,
all?
listen, meal prepping, like being
Yeah.
intentional. Like, if you want to really say that you're trying to change other people's lives and you're still so toxic, how are you helping or,
Mm-hmm.
putting any positivity into who you're trying to teach? Because that means a lot. So we want to bring in, radical educators and people that are like us as well. There's a lot of
Definitely.
us that are
Mm-hmm.
creative and pure in who we are and very understanding, very self-aware. And we've had, experiences that have shaped us, but we don't fit the norms or the molds, but who wants to fit in them, for real, for real.
Not me.
Listen, but there's structural pieces that have to be done. Like, there is the technical work that
Yeah.
you have to do. Like, it's a lot of work to be a producer. It really is. I pretty much like am reaching out to someone all the time, like, because you got to get your views up. You have to be on top of your marketing. Your marketing advertisement. You know, um, we actually, for our website, spent 6 weeks with a brand manager. It was a great investment, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a very responsible, very mature business thing to do. It's like, you need to put the best of the best. If you're going to say you're changing children's lives, you need to invest the best into that. So for 6 weeks, it was the hardest 6 weeks because most nights we're not sleeping because we were developing all the content. And he changed our name. It was STEAM for Urban Youth first, and then we
Okay.
changed it to STEAM Urban. He said, because you need to be able to have a multi-dimensional platform. And we were
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, he's like, you're bigger than how you're saying what you are. Like, we didn't realize how powerful it was as well, because we've just always been genuine about the work we've been doing.
Yeah.
We both have worked in social work, and um, we're very into psychology and understanding what that means.
Mm-hmm.
So we've just been very pure in what we've been doing. So it's the same doing it for ourselves, you know, but it's the self-discipline, like, that is what has made me be able to be an entrepreneur here and now and continue to create and make things happen, you know? I
No, I
think it's
completely
powerful for
understand.
us to, be able to, share our experiences so that people, can connect and relate. And so, we don't bear all the burdens ourselves. I think we
Mm-hmm.
do that a lot as a culture, you know. Um,
So if
so
people wanted to register now for the summer program, you still taking registrants?
yes, it's because they're virtual.
Okay.
They live, there forever, which is a beautiful thing.
That
So
is dope.
yeah, so people can sign up. Once they sign up, they get access to all the content that's there.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so is your goal ultimately with this program is to really come into schools and develop curriculum around the concept?
Yeah, so we want to provide our own programming. So our virtual programming will be ours. It'll be the content
Gotcha.
that we want to create and give
Mm-hmm.
out virtually,
Mm-hmm.
going into a show. We will have our own, like, stores and programs and, like, stand-up locations of interactives that we want to do. But then we also want to be able, which is our community initiative, because we want to be a source in the community as well. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like sometimes you get lost just in the schools and you're never actually in places that people can go to. So
Gotcha.
we want to exist in the communities as well, have our own learning centers, and essentially be able to build and develop our full own curriculum, that we do in our learning centers, and then our own curriculum that we can also outsource to homeschool families. We provide
Mm-hmm.
opportunities for organizations that want to use the programming. But we want to be the ones developing the program for the community. And then we have our school initiative, where we want to go in and bring our STEAM approach into the schools, actually live within the schools, design a classroom per se that is the
Okay.
STEAM urban experience, and be able to provide that opportunity to students almost every day or not every other day of their lives. Like it's not just on recreation. It's not
So it's
only if they can
constant.
go to,
They're engulfed in the experience.
right, they're engulfed in it. So it's not only, oh, if you can go to after school, not all kids can go to after school, but they're mandated to be in school. So it needs to be happening in the school day.
Mhm.
And then we have mentorship programs that can exist as well as additives for the school. So that's where we want to be, and exist and have a partnership with the school. And then we have our student initiative, which is all of our programs that we offer for and can develop for anything. We can develop programs in all levels, from
Yeah.
after school programs to summer camps, birthday parties, any type of like partnership events. We're going to be doing conferences and stuff like that. So like, it's just endless the amount of access we want to make sure Black students have to something that they can relate to as well.
No, I see your vision. And for me, I'm seeing all these things going in my head. I'm like, oh, this can go this way. It can go that way. It can just be so broad and cover so many people in our community. Because, as I work with early childhood, I was like, yo, this is like great. Like my 3s and my 4s to get them started on concepts like this, especially with Head Start, because we focus on that community. It's a lower income community. We want to get down, and it's definitely our children of color that we really work with mainly in our communities that really need this jumpstart into technology and science and looking at something more than just basic literacy and basic math, because the world is so much broader than that.
So much bigger than that.
Yeah, this is like so dope.
Thank
So
you.
I think
Thank
this is
you.
really, really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I realized that it was a privilege that I had, and I needed to be able to share it. It shaped me. It really changed my life. So it's important for me. So yeah, if people want to register, they can go to steamurban.org, STEAM urban spelled out .org, and the STEAM is science, technology, engineering, arts, mathematics. So yeah.
All right, great. So that was Fallon Davis, everybody, with her program, which I think is kind of dope. Her and I are going to talk a little longer because I want to see how we're going to work together further with this project. Because I'm all in. I'm just like, like Black Girl Everything is like, yo, what can we do? I think this is so dope.
Okay,
I firmly believe in it. So thank you all for watching.
Thank you.